Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do you know? Holy crap! Just when I finished the YouTube live stream of my thoughts about Kevin Hart controversy, voila! Kevin Hart just posted on his tweet or Twitter sphere. He tweeted. That's what I was trying to say. He just tweeted that he's stepping down from the Oscar hosting gig. Now, for those of you who just tuned in, just a recap that these past 24 hours since Kevin Hart got hired to host the 2019 Oscars yesterday, um, some people who had no life, who had no better thing to do in their life than with their time, they dug up old tweets from Kevin Hart's past, just like those people that dug up James Gunn's old tweets. And, just like they tried to get James Gunn fired, which successfully they did. And now they try to, like, hey, let's mess with Kevin Hart. Um, and so these past 24 hours, Kevin Hart has been receiving backlash for his gay jokes that, to be honest, they were not funny. Again, I mentioned to you in my previous videos, I usually give comedy a pass because jokes are relative. What's funny to you may not be funny to me. What's funny to me may not be funny to you. Some jokes land, some jokes don't land. Maybe this is one of those cases, and comedy is all fair play in comedy, all fair play. Otherwise, it's not comedy. That's why South Park exists. That's why I like South Park because it makes fun of everybody. Nobody. There's no exception to the rule. Um, so I wasn't gonna like chastise or nail Kevin Hart to the cross over his unfunny gay jokes. I mean, they're just jokes. Um, Again, in my previous video, I mentioned to you that I disagree with how Kevin Hart um, took care of the situation with his first Instagram post. He sounded antagonistic. He sounded confrontational. When he could have just said, "I'm sorry." I know. He probably already said sorry 1,000 times before for those tweets. But Kevin, that's part of being an adult. Sometimes you gotta say it one more time. I mentioned to you in my previous video that the Academy, if they end up firing Kevin Hart, would be their loss because, let's be honest. Let's keep it real here. Let's keep it 100. You might say, "Hey, the Academy is doing something right morally," but between you and me, it's more about business. It's more about because they've been panicking all for the past few years. Their ratings gone down, and they even came up with that best popular film bullshit category. They're trying really hard to be relevant. So I said in my previous video, if they fired Kevin Hart, it's their loss because nobody is hotter right now on the planet than Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is at the height of his popularity. Nobody draws crowd like Kevin Hart does. So if you want to be relevant, there's nobody more relevant than Kevin Hart. So, and it's going to be really hard to find a replacement because Kevin Hart is loved by many, even in his comedian community. Which other comedian want to take that job now, knowing that is from Kevin Hart, who got fired. One of their own that got fired from from the gig. I'd be like, what the hell? Why? Why would I want to step up to that? Um, I mean, if somebody would, that'd be like, hey, bless your heart, man. But I can understand if there's some people in the community of comedians who be like, fuck you, I'm not taking that job. Fuck the Academy. I wouldn't blame them if they think that way. Um, so the update is just when I finished that YouTube video, Kevin Hart posted this about, I want to say, 40 minutes ago, around 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard. He said, and I quote, let me get that tweet right here. "I have made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past." Okay, there you go. Kevin Hart will no longer host the 2019 Oscars. the there's an opening. Anybody interested? Um, I'm very conflicted very conflicted because there's an argument to be made if you say, "Hey, Kevin Hart should not have apologized. He should not have given in to these social justice warriors." Like, come on, how much more PC or cultural sensitive? How much more do we need to be? We don't need to get too uptight. Yes, some things we need to be considerate about, but I mean, do we have to really be uptight about everything nowadays? So there's an argument to be made about that. I can see their point of view. On the other hand, uh, I can see also the point of view of people who may find those jokes offensive. May the LGBTQ community that might not find those jokes funny. They probably think like, "Whoa, when we're trying to change the hearts and minds of people or people's perceptions about our community, you're not helping with that effort, Kevin." So I get that point of view too. So I'm a little conflicted about this. As a big Kevin Hart fan, I'm feeling bummed out that I won't get to see him host the Oscars. I was really looking forward to it. As I said to you in my previous YouTube video about this, um, I thought Kevin Hart knocked it out of the park hosting the Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber. He was amazing. Man, he would have been so amazing at the Oscars. Too bad we'll never get to see that. Uh, Again, fucking A. President Trump, Donald Trump has said worse things, and yet he's still president. Come on now. Where's the justice in that? Where's the fairness in that? Freaking A. James Gunn got knocked out. Kevin Hart got knocked out. Fucking President Trump is still up on the throne. How fucked up is that? You know that. You know that's fucked up, right? Anyway, those are my 2 cents. Share your thoughts about this in the comment section below. What do you think? What's your reaction to the news that Kevin Hart will not be hosting the Oscars after all? Let's rock this.